Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan, where it's summertime, and summertime means having a sore throat, which means one of your hosts sounds like he's been smoking for 50 years. I'm Atlas Novack. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I'm Dino, the genetic marvel, and I'm the one who's actually been smoking for 50 years, and I sound great. So, ta-da! I feel like that's something. Oh, God. You know what? There is nothing... Hi, Victoria. There's nothing worse than getting sick during the summertime. Like, honestly, it's one of those things where you're just like, God didn't intend for this to happen. Like, this is absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Like I already get depressed in the summer because of like everyone's like, yay, summertime. And I'm like, I fucking hate all of you. It's hot. Yeah. I don't want to go outside, but if I don't go outside, I'm missing out. So it's like FOMO plus swamp ass. Like, that's not helpful. And then on top of that, I'm sick too.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's a question. Do you think a witch has cursed you? Just an FYI. It happens. It happens to the best of us. But
do I think a witch has cursed me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if it's going to be any witch, it would be like Katie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that a couple of years ago, was that despite what you think, all women practice witchcraft. And you're like, oh, okay, good to know. It's, I mean, you know, as long as we're aware. And you know, for a long time, I tried to advocate for women to have pockets, and then I learned that they don't have pockets because that's where they keep their spells. So I'm back. I'm back on the guy's side. Women don't deserve pockets. That's where they hold their spells.
Wait. Does that mean that in King of the Hill, when Dale has the pocket sand, like that's a spell?
It's 100%. He was raised by witches, and that's why pocket sand. Bam! That's 100% a spell. I think a lot of people don't realize how factual that is historically. That is women don't have pockets because that's where they keep their spells. Maybe don't be so obvious when pulling out a spell next time, and you get to keep your pockets. I'm just, you know, just throwing it out there. It's important. I think people need to realize.
If the Salem witch trials had a podcast, I guess that's us now.
I mean, like, listen, there's sleight of hand, and then there's, you know, just blatantly pulling out a spell out of your pocket. What'd you expect? People are going to get angry. That's just.
And our guest this week on the podcast is Giles Corey, who was crushed between two boards. Giles, how are you doing? More weight.
Listen, if you're not going to stand for your principles, you know, then you just take a seat. It's just one of those things.
What'll you fall for, Alexander Hamilton? Hi,
Andrew. Hello.
Ben.
Hello.
Hi. These are just people saying hi. Hello.
Golden man. Men.
Man.
And how are you there? I feel like you're bragging. Just be like, I'm Golden Man, which I applaud you. But
just does the theme song from 2.5 Men. He just goes men, manly men.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like, that's his intro song. Every time he walks into a room, you just hear men. Yeah, that's right. And a hello to everyone. Welcome. We are discussing summer. The
spice of life, which is like,
it's a little overburdened. You know what? I feel like summertime is a little overburdened. I really do, because especially like I'm in Toronto, Canada, so we get like 5 to 6 weeks of summertime, and then it's back to the tundra for us. It's not. I'm just being I'm joking. Everyone calm down. Sure. It's not. But
yeah,
like that's the thing, is there's a lot of winter activities that I think people don't remember, because everyone's like, I'd rather be warm. You're like, yeah, but if you're dressed accordingly, like my wife, after losing so much weight, my wife had to educate me on what's called layering. That's a weird experience, I'll tell you that, because I just hope that clothes
Spanish accent while peeling an onion. Is that basically?
No. I mean, I have layers. Yeah, no,
it's pretty funny. What was I gonna say?
It's Ava is on your side for real though. I hate. Oh, there is
Yeah.
nothing worse than like I've heard of friends who have broken like a leg or an arm at the beginning of the summer, and then they were stuck inside for the rest of the summer. That was brutal for them. I make fun of them regularly. Drive by their house and honk, be like, "Hey, you still at home? Good, enjoy." And just because I'm a dick. But yeah, getting sick, like here's a question for you, Atlas. At what stage of being sick are you? Are you reminiscent of those times you didn't appreciate being able to breathe freely? Are you there yet?
That was 2 days ago and yesterday.
Nice. No.
And then like this morning I went like last night I went to bed fairly early, like 9. And for people going, well, that's not that early. It is for me. During the summer.
It's early for anyone under the age of 65.
Or just like teachers during the school year, you have to go to bed early because of that. But I went to bed early and then I got up around 8 today, so that's all like 11 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. So I like the congestion is like mostly gone, but there's still a little bit there, and my throat hurts like a motherfucker still, but.
I'm gonna send
it's more fun to talk like Velma, the uncharismatic prostitute.
I'm gonna send you a link to a thing that you can. Do you have any Asian grocery stores in your area?
I live in the valley, so yes.
Yes. Okay. See, you say I live in the valley. I don't
know.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah. Sorry. When you were in LA and you were hanging out with Nina Dicker, who also lives in the valley, there's a very large Asian population in the valley.
We went to a Korean no, it was a ramen joint owned by Mexicans, and it was incredible. Just to be very clear, it was very incredible.
There's lots of those too.
Super sketchy.
Yeah. No, in the valley, that's where the whole that no for white people thing. That's like a Thai place near me up here. Was the one that did that.
So there's a concoction. It's an herbal remedy that you can buy. It's super goopy, but essentially 1 spoonful and your throat will magically feel great. And you can take up to like 12 a day. Like it's an herbal remedy, so it's not medicated. But I'll send you a link. The weird part is I'll send you a link for it. But like if you ask an Asian person, if you say the name, they'll look at you like you have 3 heads. But if you show them, they'll be like, "Oh, this." And you're like, "That is not what this says. This says not what you said, but I want this." And they're like, yeah, it's the same thing. And you're going, sketchy.
That's
sketchy
really putting me on edge saying
yeah. Oh, no. Trust me. Hey, so it's the stuff that Ariana Grande not blew up about, but like she was like, yeah, it's like just it'll make your throat perfect as long as you're taking it regularly, just because it's a very, very solid. It's kind of like, you might be too young for this, but like cough syrup back in the day essentially would kind of it was definitely drugs. I'll just say
like
it was definitely
90s cough syrup.
Yeah.
That's good shit. Because like my I think my mom stockpiled it before the end of the 90s because she knew that when we were hallucinating, we were less annoying when we were 100%. Sick. So she would give it to us for like the slightest anything.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need cough syrup, and you're like, I just have a fever, and you're like, but it didn't matter because you're like flying by
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If your parents gave you like the plastic cap that most of them come with, if you got that dosage, number one, you were an annoying child. You should know that. You were annoying. And they probably were dosing you for a very long time. And the reason why cough syrup doesn't work on you anymore is because you grew immune to it because you had it so often. Just an FYI.
Yeah, she's one of those people who is a nurse, medically trained, understand how all this stuff works. Yeah. So when that sort of thing does happen, it's she's like, okay, it's not going to kill him. So they're getting on my nerves though, because I had a baby at 40, and it's sometime in the Bush administration, and they're pissing me off. So cough syrup.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not knocking.
Yeah, so remember around the recession, I think is when it stopped being
And I'm not knocking her. It's more so that like yeah, that was a whole thing that people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, hold on, I'm just messaging Victoria to find me a link to that syrup stuff, because she'll know. She listen, it's one of those things where like, because sometimes you don't like, and also too, like a lot of like Halls, Ricola, Fisherman's Friend and stuff like that, they are not good for your throat. They give you a temporary relief, but they are actually, they will actually irritate your throat and stuff. A lot of people don't realize that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because well, a lot of it has sugar in it, right? That's why like originally, like I only eat the original Fisherman's Friends because they taste like garbage. But it opens up your entire system. Like, so you're just like, I can breathe through time. Yeah.
This tastes like Satan's butthole, but it'll allow me to speak normally again. It's great.
Exactly. When I was working the Halloween haunts, what I would do is I would take 2 Fisherman's Friend and I would put them right, like pocket them right at the top of my mouth. Yeah. Like just so they're, yeah. And then essentially they would last about, so it was like, you know how we always joke about like autism and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
How we're all a little bit. So I would actually use it because I knew if it wasn't on my tongue and it was just stored up there, then it would last for about 20 minutes, which means I would do 3 rounds, was an hour. And then
because you're growling, like,
because I'm growling constantly. Because so everyone should realize, while I was in a scare house, I would just look at people and go, and it's I've had people walk by and they're like, did that guy just fucking growl at me? And I'm like, yes, I did. I'm glad you noticed. I hope you enjoy shitting your pants. So but that was one of those things, because eventually, it totally brutalizes your thing. But I could use it to time when I had to go for break and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I too am a little bit of an autistic bastard. But hey, such is life. That's just how you work through things.
So have you ever did the thing where you broke a bone and you're on the couch for a summer? No.
The closest thing I've ever broken was my big toe. That might have been broken. And then I also fractured a rib by essentially falling and elbowing myself in the ribs, basically kicking my own ass. And
Wait. Again, you said falling, kicking yourself in the ribs.
No, I elbowed myself in the ribs.
Okay, that's
so falling on cement, no big deal. Falling on cement, definitely a big deal.
Yeah.
So because as someone of majestic stature as myself, you learn that when you fall, you got to fall on the meaty parts. That for me, my meaty part is either my belly. Don't fall on your belly. That will never be good. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's not like a cartoon where it goes boing. Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not. It hurts forever. But alternatively, your back is actually surprisingly durable. So every time I would fall, I would always try and, land on my back, because I would always tuck, like I have big shoulders and traps. So I'm like, I just turtle my head and then that's not going to get damaged. It makes simple, right? But in turn, I didn't turn fast enough and I ended up falling on my side and my own elbow went into my own ribs. And
that is a rough time.
The wild thing was, it happened and Victoria was like, that's the first time I've ever seen you fall and not laugh your ass off. And I'm like, I know. It's because I can't hold it in. If I watch someone fall, I will laugh and point like, hey, harshly. And if I fall, I will also laugh and laugh and laugh because I find it super hilarious. Yeah.
At least he's consistent.
That's good. Yeah. If I fall, it's hilarious. If you fall, still hilarious. I think a lot of people don't realize how significant the Three Stooges were to my upbringing. It's
totally. Yeah. Like, Homestar Runner is a big part of my sense of humor, Generations, but the Three Stooges at this point, it's .com. It's like the Three Stooges, especially if you're a boy, there's something primal in there. Like my dad, you, me, younger kids, because I showed my film study class last year a Three Stooges thing because of like slapstick humor is there's something just in the DNA of being a person that it just kind of hits everyone. No pun intended. Yeah.
That was pretty good. No, that's 100% factual. It's one of those things that here, I'm sending you a link on Amazon for it. That way you can
for the cure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, listen, it make a difference. Why don't we have Three Stooges tribute comedy troops? Oh, Jim.
Why don't that's a more of a question of like why we don't have like cover bands for stand up. I think because you expect what's going to happen.
I
mean, music, you're just, yeah.
I think that the problem was we had a time when the hits were masked. This is circa Adam West Batman, where like you would hit and then you get a blazam or shabazz, and you're like, that's not helpful. I want to see contact. And then from then it just kind of stopped happening. If someone hit you, it was viewed as violent as opposed to entertaining as fuck, which is my avid opinion. Falling is the only way I can get less on stage. That's also true. But yeah, so it's the physicality, like slapstick physical comedy is that is a certain amount of genius that like it's not enough that you can hurt or whatever. It's what's important is you actually have to have it unexpected, and it makes it even better. Because when you karaoke, that's fair. One of those things. Because I'll be honest with you, like even with the Three Stooges, where they would be like, hit it, and over the top, and bam on top of your head, you're like, who does that? That's insane. But
yeah, or just it's the one where the thing I showed them was the one where they're trying to build the airplane, like they're trying to build a flying machine, and they're in the like the airplane hangar.
Yeah,
and then Curly gets covered in like the weird oil like stuff, and then he inflates, and then that was the one I showed them.
Yeah, that's top tier humor.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing. See, it was remember Lucille Ball.
Yeah,
when every one of her episodes was the overwhelming ridiculousness of the situations she would find herself in, and then would be like, no. And Ricky Ricardo would be like, Lucy, and it was always hilarious, right?
Yeah, like to the point where my brother-in-law is showing my nephews, like that's what they go to like watch before they go to bed is Lucy, like they'll watch an I Love Lucy episode. I know, right? It's great.
Absolutely.
But like the thing where they're working at the chocolate factory and all the things coming like that's top tier.
It's like, see, this is the thing is that who was the other one? Laverne and Shirley, where they were working in a bottling plant, which you're like, oh, you see, you have to have women in that because men can't be trusted in that shit. And then you see them sitting there and two gloves are on the beer bottles. You're like, nobody can be trusted with that job. We're all cause shenanigans for it. I get it.
That's an iconic like image too. The glove on the bottle.
We're gonna do it. Dun-dun. Yeah, it's fantastic. That's one of the greatest things. This is the problem is that now you have TV producers who are hoping for 500,000 people to sit down and watch their show, when back in the day there was only like 7 channels, so you had 20 million people watching.
You had a 1 in 7 chance of someone watching your shit. Yeah.
And even if you saw, like, I forget who it was that was talking about this. I think it was Rob Lowe. And he was like, yeah, I was on a show and the weekly episode, and this was the worst show on TV, was getting 20 million views a night. And you're like, and it was the worst. Like, do you understand how? And you're just like, holy shit, bro. Like,
I love the idea of him being like, yeah, after every take, we just did the jerk off hand motion and then got ready for the next take. It was the worst thing I've ever been on.
But that's like it's this crazy idea where we were constantly changing what constitutes joy or happiness or enjoyment, right? And you're kind of going like, it's I feel like joy is similar to beauty. It is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like
Yeah.
I love to build Lego, which I'm actually I got to start building some more Lego now because I got a new desk, so I now have the space to build the Legos, which is
Oh yeah. One of the things I got to take with me when I left my school was my standing desk, because
Ooh.
the guy before me, whose room it was, he bought himself a standing desk and then left it there. And I was like, "Do you want this?" Because he came back in to like get some of his stuff, and he was like, "It's too big to move. You can just have it." So when I left, I was like, "Fuck yeah, standing desk,
Bro. I
yeah,
listen. Like again, my entire desk electronically just raises.
yeah." And that's not
Like,
the chair shrinking for people.
no, just so you know, this is not me growing and shrinking. This is just
Yeah.
the magic of electricity. That's fine. I had to put it together myself, and I'm moderately proud of what I did. It's
Good job.
yeah, I think it was something.
Only two missing pieces.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But that's like this is the thing is summertime you always want to go out. Like now, Victoria and I are in a discussion because one of the greatest things that I hate, and I don't use that word lightly because I definitely hate these two things, is number one, vacuuming. I hate vacuuming. I think it's stupid and it shouldn't exist.
Okay.
I don't mind sweeping. I don't mind mopping. I just hate vacuuming. Vacuuming is stupid and a burden to society. Number one. Number two, mowing the lawn. It's mowing the lawn, which is vacuuming just outside. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but
and I'm like, it's not. The whole idea of vacuuming or mowing the lawn is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life, right? And the whole idea is, oh, you should have grass. You're like, or I could just make it all vegetables, or I could make it all flowers, or yeah, like there's a million different things I can do that are significantly better for everything in the universe than grass. And you saying, well, you have to make sure it's under this height, get immediately fucked. I don't, it enrages me to no end. So Victoria mows the lawn and I shovel the driveway. That's the deal we have. But
one's summer, one's winter. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and the funny thing is, she'll be like, "Hey, can I help you with shoveling the driveway?" I'm like, "No, just don't come out here. This is my enjoyment. I'm not interested in any of that." And plus, like, I have a system, and she immediately starts. This is how crazy I am, Atlas. Is that as soon as I see somebody having fun while on the job, I immediately get angry, like without hesitation. Now, I'm not saying
you would make a good manager of like a retail store.
Damn, that's not a compliment, Atlas. Damn.
No, it's not.
No, it's really not. It's really
Yeah.
not. But this is the thing is like, I don't mind somebody doing it right and being competitive to find joy. I'm with you. I do the same thing. That's very reasonable. Like I try and go faster, try and throw snow farther. Like those are reasonable, enjoyable circumstances. When you start shoveling snow in a circle and then go, ha ha, I'm like, get the fuck out. Just don't play with me. I'm like, listen, shoveling happens in straight lines. There are no curves. How dare you bring a curve into this arrangement? I will immediately be enraged, which is crazy, but that's just my opinion. I can't watch people have joy that they're like, oh, this will take longer, but I'll have so much fun doing it. Get the fuck out of here. Just
because if they have time to lean, they have time to clean. You know how
that's 100. Listen, you know how angry? Like, I'll be honest with you. Hey, my entire work career, I have gotten in trouble for not looking busy, and that's not even. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but I finished all my work. Yeah, but you don't look busy. Yeah, but I'm just better than everyone else. I don't understand why there's an issue. And they're like, yeah, but now we're just paying you to do nothing. I'm like, no, you're paying me because I'm fantastic. Like, and I have fought tooth and nail with this. And I'm just like, I can't handle it. It's very enraging.
It's it's one of those things where I have to where you're trying to teach the kids something, but it's not part of the curriculum. It's
Right.
like I'm trying to communicate this to you without it being like, all right, here's a lesson on looking busy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But also being like, hi, if admin comes in here, there is like, if you are done, you earn that time for yourself. That's my philosophy. You
Yeah.
did the work that I asked you to do, and I commend that.
Yeah.
At the same time, I am, below someone who demands that bell to bell instruction, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
Which is crazy.
you gotta so I'm telling them like you gotta kind of toe the line a little bit and look busy, because they're not going to walk around looking at everyone's individual like desks or computer monitors. They're going to stick their head in and then keep it moving.
Yeah.
So if you're flagrantly looking like you're not doing something, yeah.
Yeah. I get it, but also like that's a failure on a grand societal scheme, right? Like
Yes.
it's the same thing how serfs only worked 150 days a year.
Yeah.
And
They also had to like make their own clothes and shit, so it's not all,
listen,
nice.
I'm not sure if you've seen this, but people love doing that shit. Okay, Atlas. They're like, I'm gonna dye all my clothes pink. And you're like, yeah, you can do that. Why? Because you only work 150 days a year and you don't have to worry about the rest.
Yeah.
Then this is where it gets confusing, is because you're like, oh, but you had to make your own clothes. Yeah, but I had the time to make my own clothes. That's a different, right?
Yeah.
There's a big, it's
people trade money for time, or people trade time for money.
Yes.
Which sucks.
100%
because
accurate.
I like having time. It's nice.
Yeah.
Time is nice.
Time is nice.
That's kind of one of the reasons like the pandemic happened the way it did.
Yeah.
Was when society ground to a halt, people are like, oh yeah, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You
basically.
It was the first like the equivalent of like being on summer vacation, although stuck inside, as an adult for a lot of people in a long time. That was like their summer. That like year or so, or like, I can't go anywhere.
But
I got to do something,
You got to do something.
Um,
That's when people start making their own bread and shit. And you're like, oh, that was a poor decision.
Yeah,
hey,
watching Tiger King and urban exploring and protesting injustice, which, by the way, happy. I'm proud of everybody who was at the No Kings protest yesterday. I was blowing my nose every 30 seconds, but I was keeping track of stuff.
Hey, just so everyone knows, that's right. Atlas went to a protest and helped get everyone sick.
I didn't go to the protest. I sat at home.
He blew his nose and threw it on other protesters.
If I was going to do that, I'd throw it at the cops. But
that's called assault, and you'll go to jail. You can tell the kids what they would be like extras in a movie pretending they're 100%. That's actually a good idea. Yeah. That is actually, especially in LA. You're like, listen, this is training to learn how to be an actor, and they're like, oh, I'm learning how to be an actor as well. I'm doubling up. This is, the weird thing is that we should, as a society, applaud people who are efficient and get things done better, because we can learn from that and we can be better.
Yes.
As opposed to what we're actually doing, where it's like, well, if you don't look busy, you're not busy, right? Or that's your perception and not actually the truth.
It's either that or they reward you with more work.
I only learned that a little while ago, was the reward for being great at your job is just doing other people's work. And you're like, oh, that's dumb. I don't agree with that. Tell me what you don't agree with, Anton. I need to know, because I say like 9 things in a second and none of them make sense. So
it reminds me of have you seen Subway Takes?
Oh yeah.
So what's your take? He's got like the metro.
Yeah.
But like,
it's normally
whenever someone says something, he's like, 100% agree or 100% disagree.
Yes.
That hurt.
That's what you get. That's yeah. But that's the thing is in actuality, we focus on how things should be done as opposed to making things better, right? Anton says, I don't know what you're saying. That's fair. That is, hey, you and me both.
With it?
He said, I don't agree with that. And also, I don't know what you're saying. That's also fair.
Okay.
Those are two mutually exclusive situations. This could be known as the Atlas Novack School of Acting. Like you're
too long. Just cut it off at acting. Like,
yeah, but you know what? You're also in LA, so people would love the acronym. The Anso Alub.
Just say ANSA or Ansalib. Ansalib?
Ansalib. It's the Ansalib.
And then
the Ansalib. Hey, I'll check you out at the Ansalib. Yes.
Yeah.
Check out the Ansalib. I'm glad I made you laugh, Anton. It's important. It's important for Sunday that people laugh. Maybe a little crying. Maybe a little drinking. That's fine. Just getting ready for Monday. Yeah, I a lot of stuff doesn't make sense anymore, but you know, and especially like I think we had talked about this before, was the idea that the reason why summer is such a huge event in society is because as a student you get summers off, right?
Yeah.
Christmas, you get Christmas off. Like those two things are integral to existence as a child, right? Or as long as you're in education. And then immediately Monday already here. I know it's horrible, right? Don't get me wrong. But that's the whole thing, is that then when summertime comes, because like there's stuff to do. I love the fall. Not too much of a spring person, just because it's just, well, no. I'm my genealogy is very strong, sir. I don't suffer from allergies. Like I'm a weakling.
I didn't until I got married. Apparently, it comes with the ring. But
hey, I told you, witchcraft. It's 100%. That's
witchcraft.
Hey, check her pockets. Hey, do you do laundry, or does she do the laundry, or do you do laundry together? You do the laundry. Check those pockets, sir. You're gonna find some pockets in, and you're like, it's pepper spray, and just immediately you'll be like, oh my god, she's been doing this the whole time. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you didn't have allergies, but she kept on dosing you with a little bit of pepper spray every day, and you're like, why am I so just my nose keeps going? You're like, oh, must be allergies, and you're like, I guess I have allergies now.
But she gets it too, so it's not like it's just me. She gets it worse than I do.
She wants you to suffer with her.
Right.
That's weird. Yeah. That's Dino
without a beard. Are you being mistaken for Bigfoot less often now? Probably.
So I had hoped so, but someone said I look more murdery and not less murdery, which I was like, that's not nice. True. But
yeah, well, because with a beard, you look like maybe a Santa Claus who's down on his luck. You look like the uncle who teaches you how to do the dials exactly right to get the porn through. Without the beard, you look like a serial killer who has been caught in like 1974 and like they're having their trial finally, and like that's them in court.
None of these are compliments, Alex. What the fuck? You know what? It's enraging because people keep on saying shit to me, and I'm like, that's not a compliment. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, cool, thanks, I appreciate that. Just
I'm sorry, I'm just in roast mode. I don't know why.
No, that's fine. It's like you would be. No, apparently you wouldn't be surprised at how many people are like, "Hey, you still look like a woman." I'm unprepared. Listen, I feel bad enough as it is not having a beard. Like I got halfway through and I was like, "Oh, this was a mistake." It was 100%. Yeah.
So maybe you just feel a little bit naked. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. You look like somebody who likes to shave because you like having a knife close to your throat. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Makes me feel alive, sir. Yeah, no. So I only shave like once every like 5 years or so, and I'm like, I just need to. No, well, I'll trim, but not like shave. And then in turn, like I was working up to it for a couple months. And I told Victoria, I'm like, I might shave. And she's like, I really don't want you to. I'm like, I don't care. I want to shave. I want
I
to
love the
see how my
idea of
face.
you saying I might shave, and then she's like, "Are you gonna fucking do it or not?" Like,
Well, and then I finally did it, and halfway through, I'm like, "Oh, this was a horrible mistake." I expected my face to be a little less fat, and it turns out, no, it's just as fat. I
doesn't it
still
take
have.
longer to get the fat off the face? Like, it's always the body first.
I don't know. In all honesty, I lose weight like a diamond. So it's like from the top of my head and my feet, and then it's slowly. So when I sleep, I'm sleeping like this because my belly's the only thing that's big still, but everything
Oh,
else is, it's horrible.
interesting.
But yeah, so one thing I learned from shaving over the last couple of weeks was yeah, still look like a murderer. So it's just my face. It's the dimples don't help. Nothing helps. It's just yeah, I have murder face. That's ta-da, which I don't think is very nice, but yeah, I've been. Someone was like, "You look so young," and I'm like, "Thank you for finally saying something nice." That's and they're like a young fresh murderer. I'm like, that still wasn't nice, not nice at all. But no, I don't know. I don't. Do you have any big plans for the summer? What do you other than
Well,
survival?
yeah, that's kind of the big thing. Like, this June is like, uh, that's what I've been doing with my days. Is that, um, I I don't know. Aside from that, maybe like try and put more of a dent in the musical because the only real big like step I've made is trying to figure out that opening song/scene. Like I'm watching and like listening to every musical I can for
Hmm.
either inspiration or also like how do you do this with like introducing characters? Um, like do you introduce them all at once? Do you that sort of thing?
Can I? Would you like a suggestion, or are you venting?
Shoot,
Yeah.
yeah, go for it.
Bypass the beginning, and it will come to you naturally. So a lot of the times, I find for myself is when I'm intently looking at something to try and figure it out. Essentially, it's kind of like you go into hyperspace, so everything just kind of goes,
Yeah,
and you lose perception of what's actually in front of you. Everything kind of blurs.
yeah,
So what happens is, and this was a whole thing from what's his face, Albert Einstein did it. Went and got a job at the patent office because he's like, I need something mundane to distract my brain to let my
yeah.
subconscious work away on it. And this was a thing like
That's
growing
probably
up.
why Michelangelo worked at the marble quarry too. He's like, picking
100%.
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's the same thing is that a tired body can be pushed by a rested mind, but a exhausted mind cannot push a willing body. It's not how that works. So in actuality, it's the same thing as like if you work in an office with using your brain all day. At the end of the day, when you want to work out, it's not there,
yeah,
right? And that's why it's actually one of those things where it's really important. First thing you do in the morning is work out because you are well rested and it will loosen up all your joints and everything. And it kind of makes a difference going forward for the rest of the day because your brain is already well rested and you've already distracted it. So it can kind of align itself in that. So in the same sense, if you have something where you're like, I'm focused on the beginning because the beginning is important, but so often, and you'll see this in school too, is people will practice their intro way more than their conclusion, and then their conclusion is dog shit, and they'll start off with a really great intro. So in actuality, what you want to do is,
make the ending.
well, you want to make the body of it and all
Yeah,
the meat and potatoes, and how to introduce them will kind of just fall into place. Because remember, it like comedy, you want your end to mimic your beginning.
yes,
So if you write your
especially for
story going forward, the ending will kind of just happen and then you can link it up to the beginning. So in actuality, where you should be starting is about 35 to 40% in and right to the end, and then start at the beginning, because then you have
midway through Act One, and then like
even 3/4 of the way through of Act One. Like
yeah,
where do you want? I would write even the conclusion of Act One
mhm.
because you know where you want it to be. right?
Okay.
And then okay,
I
once I
know
have stuff, how do I proceed?
I know the basic, like, these are the things that I want to happen in which order, and like what the beginning and end looks like.
Yeah,
Um, but I haven't actually like written the dialogue, and like the music is way the fuck in the
yeah,
future. Like I'm gonna write lyrics and then
yeah,
take it to a composer and write the music around it.
yeah.
Um,
That's fine.
because that's always funny where people are like, what does the songs look like? I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I just know what the lyrics look like.
I mean,
For I have 2.5 songs so far.
I think what you should really try is if they if someone says what are the music look at, just be like, I'm thinking either reggae or like trapcore, like just something
Yeah.
insane, and watch me
I
go,
got it in
what?
the French Foreign Legion. Yeah, it's the same kind of
100%.
answer. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
is well, and also too, like it's one of those things where you shouldn't um
I'm
Jim,
planning my
I'm
ending.
planning my ending by driving very recklessly and eating lots of donuts. I mean,
One
that's
will get you before the other there, Jim. But
I mean, hey, if anything, you want those two things to coincide and cross over at an apex moment, and
yeah,
then
so you get the
everybody,
massive coronary on the freeway.
yeah,
Yeah.
it. What was it? I wanna. I don't want to go violently. I want to go away peacefully, like my grandpa did. Can't say the same for all the kids in the bus. He fell asleep while driving the bus. You're like, yeah, that's totally
Yeah.
100%.
Which,
Jim, that's top tier.
considering Jim Eaton's previous job,
Yeah.
very possible.
I mean, listen, it's only
Yeah.
fair. It's only fair. Um, if anything, you're giving kids a story for the rest of their life. It's so we're in this bus, and then Gregorian chant. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's that's also it's a great idea. You should make it. Like it's one of those things where if you have fun with it, I feel like it will, like, because this is the problem. What I think a lot of people don't realize with writing and creating content and stuff like that is you get into a position where it becomes kind of a burden and you lose your joy. So like for
Yeah.
me during the pandemic, I had to teach myself how to laugh again, because when you do stand-up comedy, and remember up until the beginning of the pandemic, I was out 6 nights a week, sometimes 2 or 3 nights, or three shows in a night,
Yeah.
just doing stuff, and no set was the same. Like it was constantly. But after all that, when the world ended, you just kind of go, okay, what do I do now, right? And and that's where while you're doing that intensely, you forget to actually laugh at jokes, and then you start just analyzing and stuff like that, and it's horrible, right? So in the same sense, you want to maintain your joy in that experience, otherwise things explode.
I agree. Like, where you end up like talking baseball too much, so to speak, where when you're like, okay, so they could have put this tag on the, let's just fucking enjoy the joke. Like, yes, you do tend to get lost in the sauce with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Too much. And like, I haven't gotten to that point with musicals yet. Like, I went looking for the pro shot for Heathers, which I assumed it would be like on Amazon or something. And then someone on Reddit goes, here you go. And it was just a link to a Google Drive. So I just have the pro shot for Heathers. I became a pirate by accident.
Hey, so that's how pirates happen. That's how pirates happen. It's always accident. Nobody plans on being a pirate, Alice. You just become.
Yeah, you've seen Our Flag Means Death. You know how it happens.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. You got to work around it.
But it was really good. And like, this taking place in a high school means that inevitably there's going to be some sort of flavor like that, or like the prom, or that sort of thing. Even though it's about the teachers and not the students, it's still like you have that like specter behind it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had a dream that you wrote something as eloquent as boats and hose, and I feel like that would be a banger for prom season. I'm just throwing it out there.
I didn't really think about. I guess I have to because I have two characters who are. It's like there's a, I guess a token more or less. Two student characters where the rest
Mm.
of it is teachers and admin.
Ah,
Whereas in like other like schools taking place in the high school, you have like one or two teachers and like maybe the principal.
right.
So now it's like flipped on its head.
I mean, like in all honesty, I feel like the entertainment factor would be so much higher if you made all the teachers sing and the students are like, I hate this school. And it's like it's just a school where the teachers sing and it's just
That would be really fucking funny because the ensemble is going to be like students and
yeah.
maybe some like the janitor or other teachers who we don't focus on because I have like a quartet and
Yeah.
then the principal and two kids and then
Yeah.
the superintendent is the villain.
Oh, well, that's obvious for everyone. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like a Javert type, like sort of, lawful evil. Like he's doing his job because it's his job to a fault.
Yeah. Well, that's also a principle in general, right?
The principal's a little more sympathetic because like he like it's the pressure from both ends, right? Where you have the superintendent coming down on him from the district, and then the teachers being like, "This fucking sucks, I hate it,"
Right.
from the bottom. And like that doesn't make him the protagonist, not at all. But it's
No.
he's got his own thing going on.
I keep thinking that it may be entertaining. I'm not sure because I don't know, or at least I don't remember the details of the story. So what if you had it where like the whole idea was the teachers are trying to make the children sing, and then like the superintendent obviously is tearing into the principal
or
or not, right? And he's doing so. Basically, it would be like remember the Eminem song "Stan," where he writes him a letter, and it's like it gets very crazy and mean and stuff. And you're like, I feel like that would be it. And then you have like two students burst in and start singing how he's being unreasonable, and you're like, that's
that's
whole
good. I like that because like I have a like at a distance duet from one of the teachers and the principal, like just singing about how fucking terrible red tape is.
Yeah,
fair. So that's like one of the songs I finished, and I don't know. I think it would be like an act 2.
I feel like you have a great idea that, and I hate every section of it. It just drives me crazy because it's completely something I would not enjoy watching at all. But at the same time, no. Hey, music, people singing, teachers, schooling. You're like, those are all horrible things to me. Those are all. Those are 100% the way.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, how do you sell that to not teachers, like to the population at large? Who would go see a musical about teachers?
Don't forget the bus driver that likes to sleep while he's driving, and 100%, Jim. That's He just sleeps outside the place in the bus. Like, oh, you guys want to go somewhere? And you're like, no, that's horribly irresponsible. And
the supervisor would be kind of like the
superintendent. Absolutely.
Well, because Mr. Burns took like glee or pleasure in being Mr. Burns, and I think with Javert, he's not happy, but he feels like a deep sense of duty, and he's like, I will hunt down prisoner 40601, even if like he served his time, like just go be a person. And he's like, no, it is my job to
no, that's fair. I get it.
Javert. So
see, and that's but like at the same time, I think the entertainment fact, like the idea behind music and comedy coming together is alarming because music people don't laugh much at comedy, and comedy people don't like music. Like they like music, not musicals. Let me be very clear on that. Why? Because both of them are extremely difficult, and both of them don't respect each other, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah,
right?
You can have like funny moments, even like
A
even
lot.
in because like act twos and musicals, that's where all the serious shit is. Because act one is setting up everything,
Yes.
and then you have the intermission where you have like a big almost cliffhanger moment. The opener for act two is almost always fucking insane. That's how you
Yes.
get like I love my dead gay son, or what did I miss, or shady, like all these songs where it's like this has nothing to do with what's going on, but
So,
okay. uh,
but also you
and
could
then
have a lunch lady that's like Kaiser Sose. She's actually the brains behind the operation, which is hilarious. Yeah, there's a lot
how
of
many
crossover.
yeah,
There's
but it turns out just sitting here talking about it doesn't make it happen, and I actually have to make it
no,
happen.
yeah, which
So
is a lot harder than just talking about it. That's
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm trying
Have
my
a great
best here.
summer.
Yeah, hags. That would actually uh, a good name for the like you do hags with dots, like instead of just teachers the musical. I don't. That's a placeholder name. I don't know if I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
and
you
the
can,
opening song is called "How Was Your Summer," and
yeah,
then yeah,
that's there's so much you can. I feel like you need to tap into student experiences to really get your creative mind growing because there's a lot you could do with that. And also like you can have teachers that got married, teachers that got divorced during the summer. You can have students that got a new car. You can have like yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
I have like my quartet is vaguely based off of me and like my teacher
Yeah.
besties, basically.
The English
So
department.
no,
Ugh.
not even like the only like person I was close with in the English department was my neighbor,
Yeah,
like where we our classrooms are next to each other, and even then, like she's one of those people where like she needs to be left alone every once in a while. So I wasn't
sure.
like glommed onto her side the whole year.
Yeah.
My quartet was like a history teacher, a sped teacher, and somebody from admin. Like it was a very weird, uh, you know,
Yeah.
um, quartet to be in. One of the like I swapped out admin in the show for uh, a different like an English teacher who helped me out a lot my
Hmm.
first year. And originally I was going to introduce all four of them, but maybe I do like two and two, and then where you have like because it's two new teachers, two veteran teachers, right?
Hmm.
So maybe you have like the newbies do their "How was your summer?" and they're freaking the fuck out, and then
Yeah.
the other two are just like, "Yeah, this is how you actually do it," and then da
Yeah.
da 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 da, and like
I mean, so yeah. I mean, I know we didn't plan on talking about this, but I think you feel like the whole
it's the spice
idea
of life.
it is the
Yeah.
spice of life. I definitely feel like music is the spice of life. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people make music that shouldn't, but that's just my opinion. But ultimately, it's like it's almost like a coming of age story without a coming of age.
Yes, it's a coming of career, coming of experience, I guess.
I would
Yeah,
oppose that, but yeah, no, it's something like that, something to that degree ish,
yeah.
give or take. You know,
Mhm.
that's one of those things where I definitely feel like it'll make a difference. You
Mhm.
know, but yeah, no, I'm with you. I feel like there's
Comment section. If people are like, "This is interesting, tell me more." Well, we can talk more about this in the future as I do
oh,
more.
yeah.
Or if you thought this is really fucking stupid, never talk about it again, I'll keep it under wraps until I have like something more substantial
Oh
to show.
no, if you say this sucked and we don't want to hear about it anymore, FYI, the next 10 episodes are gonna be us brainstorming.
We're
For
gonna do it anyway. Yeah.
That's it. That's basically how that works, everyone. Because if you tell me I can't, I suddenly
Mm.
only want to do that. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how as soon as well, you can't do that. Watch me. That's yeah.
There's a YouTuber I follow who does like life hacks,
Hmm.
and it's always like, here's something your mom or your uncle or your cousin should have taught you as like his
Right.
way to. But when do you know the barnacle? Like instead of putting the boot on your car, they put this thing on your windshield that you're
Oh
not supposed
yes.
to be able to of. Yeah.
Oh, you
So
could turn
like,
up the heat and do it. Yeah, go on.
yeah, like the way he did it was some TikTok being like, they don't put the boot on your car no more. They put the barnacle on there, trying to remove that. He goes, ha, 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 watch me, and then like goes into the tips on like how to get rid of it. I just love that sort of like confident defiance of like,
Absolutely.
watch me.
I think this is the hilarious part about why STEM is so important as a basis for everything. Like, if you understand thermodynamics, engineering, and all, and just how things function, which is, you know, chemistry, biology, like all those things, at a basic level, then every invention and thing that you see around you suddenly becomes less overwhelming, right? So like a barnacle, people are like, my life is done. No, just turn the heat on, your defroster on.
Yeah.
Essentially what happened is it's banking on the temperature not changing underneath it. However, that's how air expands and does not, and that's how you get it to just pop right off. Or smash your windshield and just get a new windshield. Also a solution. It's expensive, but
the way he did it was like, you smash it and then call Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
absolutely,
Like sang along with the thing. It was funny.
100%. Yeah. Like, there's always a way around, and that's why, like, people putting a boot on your car. I learned the other one. You can use 2 screwdrivers to open it up and a credit card.
Oh,
yeah,
neat. That's cool.
yeah. But at the same, but this is the other thing, is that if you got a boot on your car, did you get a boot in your car accidentally, like, or are you a piece of shit? Because if you're a piece of shit, you deserve it.
I don't know if it's usually like, oh, you didn't pay for the thing. I'm like, yeah, fine.
Hey, my taxes paid for the road. Why are you charging me to be on the road? That simple, right? There's a lot of issues. It's the same. We were discussing about this when I went to Cleveland, was how I'm like, if my property taxes go towards maintaining the road, why does the road have potholes?
You could do what I forget which city this was in, but like a guy would like
Drop
spray paint
penises?
dongs,
Oh, I loved it.
around it, and then they would
idea.
go fix it immediately.
Yeah, which I definitely want to do. I definitely want to do that because I think it's hilarious, and it's the same thing. Like, you cannot cut down a red light camera. You can't do it. However, what you can do is put tape over the camera, or put a garbage bin over top of the mechanism. And
how would you get all the way up there?
Oh, just trial and error.
What is this, a video game?
No, you launch it and just keep on trying. Keep on trying. Why? Shenanigans. It's what people don't understand is that the more control, Jim with ideas, or group special aid kids that are criminals organized by the evil administrator, or I would like to have a group of special ed kids that fight crime. Both top tier ideas.
Actually dope.
Yeah,
like My Hero Academia.
Absolutely. Listen, it's about what's important, and fighting crime while you're of high school age. 100% factual. That's makes complete sense.
God.
So
the spice of life, I guess. Like, for as we get into summer, which, by the way, last year, if you were following me on TikTok at Atlas Novack, by the way, I was complaining about, like, people complain about June gloom here in LA, where it's for the first half of June, it's cloudy most days. And then people are like, oh, but summer. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. Okay. Because the second the heat turns up, then I hate it. I hate it all the time.
That's fair.
We just had our first day of that 2 days ago. The June gloom is gone. Summer is here. Let the swamp ass begin.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Maybe you should just invest in some talcum powder and stuff like that, and just like dip yourself every day. Might help.
Maybe. I cut my hair short this year, and it's working for that so far. So at least I have a tool for the rest of the summer / future years, which is just like, I'm mostly buzzed for.
I feel like you should do a mohawk for the summertime.
Ooh.
Just this, so you can have it like pointed in the front, and just this strip. So the widows
Yeah.
just go essentially like 3 inches wide, top of your head, shave down the rest, and leave this long. Spike it up. Like summertime. I'm not a teacher. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Summertime.
I feel
The
like that's important. There was a guy in Los Angeles that had a paint roller with a pole, and he would paint over the camera. Also a great idea.
Now that's thinking smart. I always had an idea of like a Nerf gun, basically, but you would just shoot, or like a paintball gun. Yeah.
The problem with a paintball gun is you will 100% get shot.
Yes. So paint roller seems more innocuous. That's like, I'm painting the side of a building, except for this tiny thing right here.
Yeah. So paintball gun, slingshot, all those things, that is, you'll get charged with mischief. With
a slingshot, you definitely will, because
apparently
you live in Little Rascals. That's
bro, slingshots. There's a growing trend on TikTok of people using slings to throw rocks. Yeah. And the thing is, with a sling, you can get a rock up to like 120 miles an hour. Like you can. There's
a reason that my TV pilot, that's like a post-apocalyptic thing. Yes. My protagonist uses a sling because it's like kind of deadly, but also very easy to like carry and not have to worry about ammo and shit like that.
It's 100%, and a lot of people don't realize how very beneficial it was. But
yeah, because when people are like, "How did David kill Goliath with it?" Do you realize how fast 120 miles an hour is?
Also, the rocks that David used were about the size of an orange, which means that is basically a handheld. Well, it's a cannonball. It's like, think about it. You're right. Like, okay, so if I have to hold that, that's a small cannonball, and also, it's gonna go right through someone's brain. Just like it's not. Yeah.
If not, like, huge gaping hole, at the very least knock him out, and then he falls over, and that's a dead Goliath. Yeah.
That's listen. It's what people don't understand is that there are ways to do. There's a lot of different ways to do things. What you have to do is make sure that it doesn't blow back on you. Right. It's the same thing when you're throwing a Molotov cocktail. If you don't throw it overhead, because it will pour fire on you, you throw it side hand, and you have nothing to worry about. Then its centrifugal force keeps the liquid down, and you have nothing to worry about.
Don't give it to a baseball pitcher, because they don't like throwing sidearm. Give it to a softball player. They throw sidearm.
They love it. See? It's about understanding how things work, everyone.
It's the spice of life. Molotov cocktails.
I mean, 100% accurate. Yeah. So, Dino's
riot school.
I mean,
the old DRS. Yeah.
Sign up for DRS, people. I will teach you things you never wanted to know. That's fine.
I love the idea of like you sitting in a classroom. Okay, kids, now with the name Molotov cocktail comes from the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact of 1939, where they dropped food drops that people sarcastically called Molotov bread baskets. Molotov cocktails were a drink to go with the food, and now hop it to the windows.
Ta-da! History. Yeah. I feel like I could definitely ruin a few children if I was a teacher. I would definitely see. You like to say you're radicalized, bro. I would start an army. You can't put me in front of a class and not start creating ranks and stuff. That's basically how that'd work. Apparently I need to be a manager of a retail store just to squash people's joy. That's fair.
Probably. So this was Generation Dan, everybody. Leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe and all that stuff. Follow us at Generation Dan on all the social medias. Where can people find you, my good sir?
Right here at Dino the Genetic Marvel. Oh, I should do it there. Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm everywhere doing stuff. I have a ton of shows. Tomorrow we have on Upside Down Studios, we have Motherfucking Mondays, which is at noon Eastern Standard Time, and we just essentially talk about the madness that has been the last week. Then in turn, we also have Life of Giants, where we're going to be talking about a little bit of history, quotes, stuff that affects our lives. Thank you guys. Always love the show. We appreciate you, Jim. You're awesome.
Thank you, Jim.
But yeah, so we are doing that, and but yeah, subscribe to my
Can I
channel.
come back on Life of Giants if that's about history now?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
if
if you know what, if you can come up with a good quote, we would greatly appreciate it, because normally it's me scrambling on Monday trying to find a good quote. So if you have one, by all means, just
okay,
come on.
yeah,
Because it's
yeah. The last episode we did for Last Minute History was Washington getting his ass kicked.
Ooh.
And like the big quote from that was men who commit no fault require no pardon, or something like that. And I kept coming back to that because I was like, a big part of that, we sort of paper over it in history class because we're like, yeah, we're getting our butt kicked. Okay, we're crossing the Delaware now. Like
that's not,
yeah.
It's so, yes, we could. The only problem is right now, I'm not sure it would be a fun conversation, just considering what's happening in your neck of the woods.
No. I don't want to use that quote. I'm just saying, like,
I
kind of done that already.
100%. Well, and that's where like the bigger problem with our shows, this one included, is that we will have a topic of some sort, and then the whole everything kind of goes crazy. But so no, we'll definitely have you on in the next little bit. I might have you on while I'm in parts unknown. That way, just because I don't even know how good my reception is going to be, if I'm going to be able to facilitate. Well, the time difference is just 12 hours. So whatever happens at night is going to be first thing in the morning. So it'll actually be okay, I think, but we'll see. Yeah. What about yourself, sir?
You can find me at Atlas Novack, wherever fine social medias are found. Originally, I was going to do something called the Subway Run, which I was going to take the train from my neighborhood to LAX, because they recently opened the metro stop there. So you can take the train to LAX without having to sell your firstborn child for a ride in LA. That's like a meme if you live in LA. So I was going to do that originally, and then shit got hot. So I'm going to wait for it to cool down. Keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I'm just doing sketches about being a teacher, now a teacher on summer, and epilepsy, and any other number of things that make me laugh.
Is there no AC on the subway?
There is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's reasonably cool on the subway. When I say hot, I mean like LA, the cops, that kind of stuff.
I don't think you're their target there.
I know they're not. I know, but still.
Mind you, you do look sketchy at times. Hey, shave the faux hawk and you'll get arrested too. There you go.
Yep.
That's
all right.
One of the people.
Check out my other show, Nexus at Night, which is on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific. That is about the trading card game Card Fight Vanguard with my friends Matt and Root Beer. So go check it out. And thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.